Yet another happy camper leaps enthusiastically back to his cabin, and 3 more experts line up to thrust their opinions on the waiting world in this week's reviews. Video games have been around for so long now, we decided this week's category would be classic games. First up, Track and Field. The game that blistered many an arcade addict's digits comes to the Game Boy in a 7-event button-battering situation.
The graphics are some of the best I've seen on the Game Boy. I think there's not a lot of blurring behind you when you're running, swimming, etc.
You could argue there's plenty of variety in there. There's 12 levels, you can have a couple of players, but once you've played each level a couple of times, you decide it's completely irrelevant.
The big problem is that it's very, very easy. On my first go, I got all the way through to the end. And after that, what was the point of playing it?
Next up, Dropzone. The ancient Archer McLean C64 classic comes to the NES. It's a Defender-style shoot-'em-up with infinite levels of increasing irksomeness.
It's basically a sideways scrolling, shoot 'em up, shoot everything. There's not a lot of variation in the levels, but they just get faster and they get harder.
It's a sort of an old-style game. I mean, there's not like loads of variety in it, but there's something about it. It's really addictive.
If you think you're a hard shoot-'em-up fan, then check this out.
Next up, Paperboy 2. In the politically correct sequel, you can be a paper girl as well, as you bunny hop and lob lurid tabloid tales through windows 21 levels long.
At first I found this quite a good game, but I definitely only mean at first.
Bland graphics, twee sound, the kind of collision detection that they could have improved on a digital watch. This is one game to avoid.
Now it's time for all viewers with handpiece problems to breathe a collective sigh of relief as we look at 4 of the latest innovative joysticks. First up, the creme de la creme of Street Fighter 2 controllers, the Topfighter.
This joystick's programmable, so I can activate the special moves just by touching one button. Here I'm doing Fireball, it's a Hurricane Kick, and there's Dragon Punch. This makes it far simpler, which is a great help.
Next up, something to really get your hands around, the Free Flight.
This is an analog joystick, so it gives you more control than a digital one would. They're calling it a virtual joystick because it's the nearest thing that you can get to real flying. The more I tilt the joystick to the right, the more it banks gradually to the right, and the same with if I do it to the left. The joystick's really brilliant to use, but I'm not too sure about the shape of it. It looks a bit rude.
Finally, leave your hands free to wander with the Free Spirit.
It's a joystick in a cap. If I tilt it upwards, I'll climb up, and down, I'll dive downwards. If people think flight simulators are dull, they're wrong. This cap makes it much more exciting.